Good morning, welcome to everybody to this International Symposium on Travel Demand Management and TInnGO and DIAMOND's final conference. This is the second day of this major event where we are sharing new approaches, tools, plans, and methods to boost gender and diversity in the transport sector in Europe. For this second day, we are having the opportunity to have in this opening remarks the participation of Lali Soler, Director of the Big Data and Data Science Technological Unit from EURECAT Research Center. EURECAT is the coordinator of the Diamond project. Also, we have with us here at TInnGO Pedro Ballester, President of TInnGO, who will give the floor to Monica Oltra, Vice President and Regional Minister for Equality and Inclusive Policies of the Valencian Regional Government. We also want to thank you the presence of Julia Company, Director of the Valencian Institute for Business Competitiveness, and Javier Zabaleta, Director of TInnGO. So first of all, I would like to give the floor to Lali Soler from EURECAT, who is going to be participating online from Barcelona. The floor is yours, Lali.
Okay, good morning, everybody. It's a pleasure for me to be here in this International Symposium of both Diamond and TInnGO projects. And let me first of all introduce a little bit EURECAT, who is in charge of coordinating the project Diamond very, very quickly, because we don't have a lot of time. And EURECAT it's a technological center which is located in Catalonia. It's one of the most important research centers in the South Europe. We are carrying out an activity totally focused on innovation and research. We have different capacities. We are working comprehensive R&D service for business. Here you can see that our activity or research activity, it's mainly focused or arriving at SMEs companies, which is the main goal of the technological centers. And we have more than, or a turnover around 51 million per year and more than 1,700 business clients. In general, our claim is that we help companies discover new opportunities and participate in improving products, services, and processes. We have a committed team with more than 650 professionals, with a very good proportion of men and women, which is very important, especially in the session of today, in the presentation of the projects that we have today. And we have like more or less 20% of our staff holding a PhD, with a very, very focus-oriented team to develop our projects. Nowadays, we are focusing especially in some relevant macro trends of the society, and these macro trends like diversity, inequality, climate change, demographic, circular economy, platform economy, geopolitical changes, technological and urbanization changes. We are treating these macro trends from a technological perspective by developing disruptive new technologies, like, for example, the case of Diamond and TInnGO, which are addressing societal problems like the gender perspective in transport from a data science perspective, which is a new thing to do, and it's, I think, one of the most important points of both projects. Okay. In this sense, the technologies that we typically liberate in EURECAT are artificial intelligence. We are also working in self-driving cars, augmented reality, IoT, advanced robotics, blockchain, next generation genomics, advanced materials, and environmental technology. So it's a very, very diverse center in terms of the different technologies. Our differential value is precisely that we are a multi-technological center, and we are able to develop different projects integrating very different perspectives. the specialization in the case of different specialties are, for example, in the areas of water technology, medical devices, advanced robotics, personalized nutrition, artificial intelligence, lightweight on materials. And finally, to close the presentation of the center, we are currently working in more than 60 H2020 projects, still H2020. More than 15 projects are led by EURECAD. More than 90 projects have been approved in 2019. And we are in more than 200 big consortium projects. So we are very active in the R&D landscape in Europe. And we hope to keep on be as active as we used to be, okay? I would like to introduce now one of the main technological drawbacks that Diamond and TInnGO, especially Diamond, are addressing. And we are in a societal moment that it's quite special because on the one hand, we have a lot of awareness of gender perspective. There were some movements like the Me Too that clearly demonstrate that the society is more and more aware of the problem of gender discrimination in this case. And on the other hand, we have a huge advance of data analytics and computation resources make that algorithms, especially automatic decision algorithms, are ubiquitous nowadays. But the problem that these kind of algorithms are suffering right now is that they tend to incorporate the biases that society generates as community. This field of study is called algorithmic fairness. It's the discipline in charge of studying, assessing, and mitigating, if possible, the inclusion of different biases, racial biases, gender biases, etc., political biases sometimes in the algorithms. In the majority of cases, these biases are introduced by the data, and the data is generated especially for the humans, for the mankind. And this is something that it's not very easy to tackle sometimes. There are some research lines also. The European Commission is totally focused on developing tools, toolbox, and a lot of different mechanisms to assess these biases and to mitigate these biases. But one of the main important points of Diamond and TInnGO especially is that they approach the societal problem, the gender perspective, directly by using in a transparent way the data. And this is completely new, and this is a very, very valuable approach. We are not suffering in the case of Diamond. We are not suffering biases in the algorithms. We don't have to mitigate these biases. We are approaching existing gender biases in transport, and we are using these data science techniques, this data science methodology to face this problem, to solve these problems, and to provide the different stakeholders of mobility and transport with different tools to mitigate these gender biases and to be more inclusive in terms of gender inclusion in the transport and mobility in Europe in general. And this is quite new in general, and these are very good news for data science because it's a very, very brilliant demonstration of how algorithms are not bad. Sometimes algorithms can be used at the service of society in this case. We will see today the results, or we will start to see the results of both projects, TInnGO and Diamond. Both of them are absolutely exciting, but slightly different, okay? As you know, the main goal of TInnGO is to provide a window to showcase and discuss a variety of issues related to gender and diversity sensitive smart mobility in new ways. TInnGO have provided some results that are very interesting, like an observatory of data and a center of excellence. And on the other hand, we have Diamond also to see the results, which is a funded project that have been analyzing the inclusion or the inclusion of gender perspective in the different stakeholders of mobility in Europe, providing a toolbox that we will start to see, especially tomorrow, the results that can be used for the different stakeholders in order to assess the gender and diversity equality in transport, to incorporate gender issues in the planning and design. This is the whole aim of both projects, and in particular, we will see the different partial results that we have achieving during these 3 years of exciting research in the case of Diamond led by Eureka. Thank you very much for inviting me to the presentation. I hope that the symposium is going to be very interesting. And now we can listen to Javier Zabaleta. I think that it's the next speaker that is going to be with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lali. We are going to retake now the connection from ITENE's facilities here in Valencia. I also wanted to highlight that we have more than 60 international speakers from Europe, from Africa, from the United States in this 3-day event, and more than 250 registered attendees. So to continue with the opening remarks, we have in fact the presence with us of Pedro Ballester, President of ITENE. As you know, ITENE is part of the TInnGO project, but is also the leader, the coordinator of the Spanish hub. We have carried out many activities, many of them with the support of our regional government, and that's why we are here today. We come today with the presence of Mónica Oltra. But first of all, I want to give the floor to Pedro Ballester, President of ITENE, who will give us the
Good morning. I'm Pedro Ballester, President of the ITENE Research Center. I would like to read you on behalf of our organization in this great event that brings together the final conferences of the TInnGO project, in which ITENE and Diamond project have participated, both funded by the Horizon 2020 program of the European Union. As you know, this final conference takes place together with the 10th International Symposium of Travel Demand Management. Yesterday, we were informed about several of the research abstracts submitted to this symposium. In these days, we have had the opportunity to learn the results of the researchers and findings of both projects, and to know firsthand the testimonies of many other experts and speakers who will join us to give an account of the latest studies. I would like to thank all those who will contribute to developing and boosting the synergy between academics, researchers, policymakers, and industry to address equality and gender in the field of smart mobility together. I would also like to thank Mónica Oltra, Vice President and Regional Minister for Equality and Inclusive Policies of the Valencian government, for her presence and support not only to this event, but to the TInnGO project along these 3 years, and to the activities that ITENE has carried out in the framework of this initiative. We have closely worked with several departments of our regional government, as is the case of the Gender and Diversity Action Plan, developed with the public company that manages the metro and tramway services in Valencia and Alicante. As far as our research center is concerned, the TInnGO project has allowed us to learn a lot about the role of women in transport together with other partners who have accompanied us over years and with whom we have built a gender smart mobility observatory in which we have disseminated studies, good practices, and statistics on this subject. Furthermore, as leaders of the Spanish hub of TInnGO, we have been able to analyze the situation of women in relation to transport safety and to promote the improvement of their job opportunities in the transport sector, as well as the position of adapted mobility services for women, considering their needs and their employment conditions. In our R&D center, it is clear to us that this is necessary to get involved and do our bit to influence and promote changes. In that sense, in ITENE, we are very proud to say to have since 2017 an equality plan that guarantees real and effective equality of opportunities between men and women, applying the principle of non-discrimination and equal opportunity in all areas of work. This is reflected in the composition of our organization, where men and women are equally represented at different levels of responsibility. I believe that thanks to the participation of all the partners of TInnGO, we have also contributed to generate a positive impact on society, beyond the mere scientific analysis, and therefore from the results of this symposium. We will be able to influence a little more on European policies to promote gender equality and social inclusion. I will not go on any longer. I simply wish you all a very fruitful meeting, and I hope that with everyone's contribution, interesting ideas and proposals will emerge to help us towards a more equalitarian society in transport and beyond. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President of ITENE. And now we are going to give the floor to Monica Walter, Vice President of the Regional Minister, Vice President and Regional Minister for Equality and Inclusive Policies of the Valencia Regional Government. As I said before, and as our President has highlighted now, the regional government has supported many of the activities carried out by the Spanish hub of TInnGO, and we are very grateful to count on the presence of the Vice President here once again. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Morning, everybody. First of all, I wish to thank ITENE for their invitation to the final conference of a project as interesting as it is necessary as the TInnGO project. 2 years ago, I participated in the promotion of the Spanish hub led by ITENE, and I think we can affirm that their work has been huge and very positive. This hub has been key in building an intersectional look, putting people at the center and exploring paths to make transport a friendlier and safer sector, and also to promote it as a potential employment niche for women. Taking a feminist look into such a masculinized sector as a need for adaptation to climate change was and is a great success. So congratulations for pioneering this field. The studies made, such as the one on mobility habits in the metropolitan area of Valencia, noting the differences and different habits between women and men, and then on the employment of women in the taxi sector, proving the difficulty of women to enter in this profession, although it is attractive for them. And these are two examples of knowledge and paths to be explored in order to be able to implement more efficient, safe, inclusive, and sustainable public policy. The open data repository will certainly be a source of cooperative information, experiences, and learning that will make it easier for us to implement more diverse, inclusive, and smart measures. In addition, the networking efforts throughout Europe with 10 hubs, 20 hubs in 13 countries making up the TInnGO network help us work as one system in a more efficient way. This network is financed by the Horizon 2020 funds, a project designed to change the current situation of mobility, which causes gender inequality, and to build up significant changes in European transport, achieving a new perspective on the future of mobility in which women are an essential part. Besides, the DIAMOND project being developed at the Biomechanics Institute of Valencia adds to the change of perspective by working on several fields, such as how to improve bicycle sharing services, public transport, women's employment in public transport companies, and especially self-driving cars. All of these are tools to improve people's lives by making mobility an inclusive instrument. The TInnGO and DIAMOND project are the reflection of the need to put people in the center of policies. Thinking about people in a pluralistic way is to take a feminist look, considering people with diversity according to their gender, their age, the place of residence, motor and sensory ability, and so on, is a commitment to the future. As I said 2 years ago, or I think 3 years ago, pandemic has, I think, has disturbed our memory. 3 years ago, in the first conference, the best way to design a transport system that takes everybody into account is to include everybody in its design. And I think you have succeeded. This is why I know that all these shared experiences, all the work developed in these 3 years, are just the beginning of a change in the way we will look at the design of transport and therefore the territory. A vision to face the future challenges that lie ahead. Congratulations, Pedro, Javier, and all the ITN team. And thank you very much. And I hope you have a good job. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Vice President of Valencian Regional Government. And with these remarks, we are closing this opening session.